We are Nerd Cult Online, and this is the Honor and Legacy Pack on Pinball Fx from Zen Studios. The first of the two tables in the pack is Vern's Mysterious Island, and it definitely feels like it's a callback to like some of the classic novels that focus on like adventuring, and ones like Treasure Island, maybe Journey to the Center of the Earth, Around the World in 80 Days, I believe, is the title, and books like that. You've got pirate ships, you've got people trying to collect fruit and items to survive. You've got, dealing with volcanoes and things like that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see how far the story and the lore behind it goes. Based on the naming of the table, it definitely seems like maybe that this one is centered around the works of Jules Verne. I'm not aware of any books or stories involving A Mysterious Island by Jules Verne, but I know that he's written a lot more stories and novels than I've ever read. I believe 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is probably the only one of his I ever read. So, it is quite possible that this is actually based on a specific book that I'm just not familiar with. But visually, I love the look of the table. It definitely gives off, Treasure Island vibes. Obviously, that's not Jules Verne. That's Robert Louis Stevenson. But I absolutely loved playing on this table. It was a lot of fun. Even though consistently I had a lot of trouble hitting the ramps I wanted to hit, it wasn't that they were placed poorly, it's just that I was hitting poorly. Which longtime viewers may know that is a common occurrence when I play, especially when I'm actually trying to do good. Apparently, for whatever reason, I do worse. But definitely had a lot of fun on the table. Can't wait to explore this one further. And as we progress through the video, you'll actually see me get up into that area towards the back in the upper right that basically allows you to kind of play into the volcano. And visually, great looking table, very responsive as far as the hits and reactions, and just need to get more familiar at the table and get more used to hitting some of those ramps specifically, so that way I can actually hit them when I intend to. But overall, definitely enjoyed this table, and honestly, for this table alone, this pack is definitely worth it. As far as gameplay goes, it was my favorite of the two. And I've always been very partial to pirates too, and given that that vibe, definitely makes for something that's right up my alley. But it's not something that is essentially required for a good table, obviously, because as we've come to see, Zen definitely has a ton of fantastic tables that are not at all pirate themed. So overall, really enjoyed the table, and definitely need to take a look to see if there is any sort of Mysterious Island book by Jules Verne, and if there is, may need to check it out, because if the table's based on it, then it's definitely going to be something that's going to be right up my alley for sure.
Shoot the target, quickly! Somebody must be out there.
Jackpot score raised. Ha! You deserve that, landlubber!
And that leads us into our next table, A Samurai's Vengeance. Now, based on the name, obviously it is samurai themed. You've got your samurai character in the back. The whole table itself is kind of made to look like a dojo. Very much reminded me of the Kung Fu Panda table as far as just the general look and feel. But compared to that table, this one is definitely far superior. I've always loved, stories of samurais and, like books like The Five Rings, basically teachings about the samurai and things like that. And so, this one's another one that's definitely right up my alley. So, as far as, looks and feel and, focus of the tables, this pack is really just made for somebody like myself. Now, obviously, there I go, having a very poor start to the table. And overall, with this table, I definitely enjoyed it. But it just did not capture the overall enjoyment, the imagination that you get with the Mysterious Island table. So, unfortunately, even though this table is, has a great theme, it definitely is not. It doesn't stand out on its own when packaged with the other table. But visually though, like just the overall appearance of the table, this one is absolutely beautiful. I love how they did the cherry blossoms and basically, those all coming, floating down as you play, and the iconic look of the samurai, chilling out underneath that tree, is a great visual overall. And again, the table definitely is fun and enjoyable, but it does not stand up to the other one. Both were a lot of fun, and definitely solid tables. We've definitely played much worse, but again, out of the two, the Mysterious Island was my favorite. But you also can't go wrong with a good samurai story, and the look and the feel of the table is, again, it's just great. So again, these are together in a single pack, and definitely well worth purchasing. Even though the package price, I believe, is about $10, and I think at that price it definitely is well worth the cost.